in that abortion facility. And we are told that all truth is relative, and that's wrong to impose your brand of truth on someone else. But those of us in the pro-life movement, this movement to restore preborn rights, we can't let these arguments stop our work. We know the truth. We know the harsh reality of abortion, and it is our duty to break through the apathy of this generation so that we can achieve our ultimate goal and vision, ending abortion, so we can create a world where every human life is cherished, born and preborn. To achieve this vision today, we are gathered here to declare an end to apathy in Northern Virginia. Our vision, while it may seem lofty at first, is something that every person in our movement must have in the back of your minds when you wake up. What are you doing to end abortion today, to save preborn lives and help women and men? For we don't want to be like those DeKalb townspeople who, after years of seeing Jewish prisoners go in and then smoke from the crematorium rise, they walked past the suffering human beings, crying out for mercy. They stepped over the dead, naked bodies on their trips in and out of the concentration camp. We must act today to create a culture of life in America and Northern Virginia. We must show the world that being pro-life is about caring for all humans, whether they are preborn children, the elderly man looking for a place to sleep tonight, or that girl, scared and pregnant, searching for just one person to tell her everything is going to be okay. And as you get involved right here in Northern Virginia, this is my son Gunner, by the way, welcome Gunner. As you get involved right here in Northern Virginia, you need to be praying in front of the abortion facilities, counseling women and providing them with the material resources they need every day in pregnancy resource centers. Vote for pro-life candidates and run for office yourself. Even local positions where you can actually stop a new abortion facility from taking root in your community. Host educational and thought-provoking displays. Mentor young couples so they can make healthy decisions. And help my organization, Students for Life, so we can start groups in high school and college campuses. And even when you may think there is nothing we can do to end this global tragedy of abortion, that no one is coming to our events, and we're just so down because we think, you know what, no one cares. You have to remember this quote, and it's a quote I keep in front of my desk every day. And it's from a Holocaust survivor, Elie Wiesel, and it says, "There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest. Every day, 3,700 preborn babies perish from abortion. So each day, ask yourself, what can you do to help stop this injustice of abortion? What can you do right here in Northern Virginia? Take this global problem of abortion and break it down to one person. Who can you help today? And take heart. Know that we're ending abortion every single day. And the end of abortion is very near." Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen. That was great. Our next speaker is a longtime Fairfax area grassroots activist. He's a friend of mine. You might have heard him. We made him famous. He's the voice of our commercials on WMAL. How many heard those commercials? We got a great donation from some pro-life people that allowed that to happen, and we know some of you are here because of that thing. Well, Steve Hunt is here today to speak to us himself, and I welcome him to our rally. Thanks, Steve.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In a founding document for our nation, the Founding Fathers listed the most significant rights of all men: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in that order. The first inalienable right, life. Now, we've heard this phrase used many, many times, But what was the context? This was the second paragraph in the Declaration of Independence. The first paragraph, the founders stated the reason for the document. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitles them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind require that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. They were about to revolt from a tyrannical government that had ignored their attempts to find a peaceable solution for a decade. Yet they stated that there was a requirement to explain, to justify why they have the right to sever the political bands with England. Why? Why would they do this? Because these were Christian men who believed in the Bible, in which God tells Christians to obey the government he put in place. The founders saw the need to justify why they were going to rebel against this tyranny by listing all of the grievances against them. Now, after stating the rights of all men, they continued that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute a new government. They go on to list 27 separate abuses and usurpations, but they started with this general charge that the government had failed to do their primary job of protecting the rights of all men to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This list had many fiscal complaints, but the primary right that founders stated the government was to protect was life. But what is life? 37 years ago, a court overruled the decisions of state legislatures based on very limited science. The science, we now know, is on the side of life. We now know that a heartbeat can be detected in the womb at 18 days, that brain waves can be detected by 40 days, and that a baby feels pain. In 1973, few had any idea what DNA was, but we now know that at conception there is a totally new set of DNA different from the mother. When abortion is brought up in a church, we hear it's a political issue. When it's brought up in the political environment, we hear, oh, that's a moral or a religious issue. They're both right. It is a moral issue. Most religions, and certainly Christianity, consider murder to be wrong. Most governments agree with this moral issue and make murder illegal. The founders certainly agreed that it is the job of government to protect life. We are a government of the people. If you want to have a government that follows the guidelines of the founding fathers and protects life, then you have to elect leaders like Dick Black who will fulfill that responsibility. In Northern Virginia, standing up for the inalienable right to life is used by opponents to attack a candidate. That candidate may be called extreme or out of touch. We're probably seeing those ads today. Some see a strong pro-life candidate as a liability. To win, pro-life candidates must get 50% of the vote plus one. Trust me, 49.3% won't cut it. In order for pro-life candidates to become the norm in Northern Virginia, the culture must change. It is not enough for you to vote for a pro-life candidate. You must be a part of that movement to change the environment in Northern Virginia. Educate yourself on the facts and the arguments so that you can give an answer to questions that may come up in a discussion about abortion. Then educate the people that you know. We have voter guides here today on the table over here. Don't take one. Take a stack. Give them to your neighbors. Take them to church. Give them to your friends. Get your pro-life friends to vote for pro-life candidates, especially those who have been voting for pro-abortion candidates. Then help the swing voters see why a candidate who will not ensure that government fulfills its obligation to protect life, they will